Hello there. Let me just adjust some things here. So, okay, hi. Thanks for joining the stream. I am Reho. I am a game developer. I am making Office Management 101 on this stream. And that's the gist of it, I guess. So again, these days, every week something like crazy keeps happening. The world is in constant turmoil these days. So yeah, I usually don't like to get political on my company channels in any way, but I still feel like I should make it clear that I do have my own political views on things, and I do sympathize with what's with the cause that's in action in the United States right now. So of course the tragic murdering of George Floyd that sort of kicked it off was just like the tip of the iceberg, but the sort of systemic failures there in their in many areas, I guess. They were going to spark something eventually, either way. So anyway, I hope people stay strong and continue to fight for what they believe is right, I guess. Anyway, beyond that, last week I appeared on a local podcast here in Estonia, and it was in Estonian. So I appeared as a guest on that show, and I talked about office management and a little bit about other things that we do here in our company. And company is kind of like a glorified name for our outfit. Legally speaking, yes, we are a company, but we've never been out to maximize profits or to grow or anything like that. We're just, trying to do our own thing, and that sort of a legal form helps us to do that more easily, I guess. So anyway, I was on that show, and I once again realized that I'm not really good at argumenting my stances or beliefs or whatnot, like right on the spot when being confronted. So a lot of the questions there that I answered, I'm not like completely satisfied with the answers that I came up with, and maybe I will address some of those questions again and try to come up with better answers today. But I will do that like over the course of the stream as I work on other stuff. And I'm not in any way blaming the show hosts for it or anything. More to my shortcomings as a bad communicator, I guess. And also mayhaps having like a bit of a different approach to what I do in general, that kind of throws people off. So anyway, today I will be continuing the stuff that we've been working on in the past few weeks. So game mechanics, and I'll try to implement the stuff that I started. So actually let's switch over to there. So this was something that I designed for the mechanics, like sort of a sketch of it. And the program that I was using, I don't even remember the name of it anymore. I uninstalled it because the 14-day trial ran out, but I did take a screenshot of what I had there, and that should be enough for now. And also last time I tried to make more detailed sketch of that mechanic. I guess I can quickly go over it again. So basically what this is the product design part of the game now, or what I'm planning for it. So basically, when you start making your own products in the game, you get this sort of a pop-up, and then you can rearrange one of the 3 types of components within a grid. And that grid may be smaller, like 3x3, or it may be bigger, like this one, or it may be like different shaped, have holes in it and whatnot. And by default you have like some number of components in there that you can drag around and place wherever you want to, but the placement of those components will affect some parameters, kind of row based and column based, and those are indicated by the left column here and the top column, the top row here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure like this is all very confusing when you're looking at it for the first time, but maybe with the help of tooltips and proper icons, these are just temporary icons that don't really mean anything right now. So with the help of those, maybe it will be fine. But yes. Basically what the stream today will be about is then trying to implement that all in the game. So I've been showing the previous system for a bit in the previous streams. So I started off with a different system that had like a kind of a Tetris pieces that you could drag around and place in that grid. But I decided not to use this system and use the new one instead then. So what I will be doing then is trying to remove the old parts here and try to get the new stuff implemented and working. I don't know if I'll manage to do all that today, but we'll do as much as we can and then we'll see. So once again, if you're seeing this for the first time, then this game is Office Management 101. It's a tycoon game or a office life simulator that I've also been using for it. So you have like a bunch of employees here that you manage and you get them to work for you. And you make money and then design the office the way you see fit and so on. So you're like typical tycoon mechanics, but spiced up in some areas. So where do we start then? As always, I did not do very much preparation for the stream, so we'll kind of go along here and see where we get. So user interface stuff should be either here or is there also maybe in product? Some of it is here, yes. So the old system defined components and component pieces, meaning, let's quickly check that again. So basically these are components, like these multi-dial sized thingies. And they're composed of component pieces. And each of those pieces also has a type and some other stuff. I don't know, levels, icons, and whatnot. But the new system doesn't need all that anymore. So let's see what we can actually do here then. So probably we can remove this file altogether. Although there is icon ID here. And I guess that should be part of this here, or maybe this. Yep, this is probably the best part for the best place for it. But also interface. So let's define the icon stuff here. Get icon ID. Might as well define the get icon function as well. But what should that return? How come the icon ID here is an integer? Oh yeah, that might be because the icons are in a different file, right? Which I probably don't need anymore either. But let's see. Assets, sprite sheets, icons default. That's not it, because that defines most of the user interface icons that basically look like this. Although I can now reuse these three. But yeah, where because from here I can see what's going on. So it's in products and components. Okay, let's try and open that file then. Just a moment. Products, components. So here they are. Yeah, the size is the same as in this file. But yeah, I won't be using these anymore. So while I work on this, I can answer like some of the questions that I had on the podcast then. And of course, the main question was, why has Office Management 101 taken 6 years to complete? Or like 6 years to develop and it's still not out yet. And I think the context matters here a lot, and I wasn't like clear in explaining that on the podcast, or not clear enough. And the context of that question, or where that even comes from, is like assuming that when a company makes a game, they have like a timeline for it normally, that they have somewhat planned out, and then the company works, invests some money in it, hires people to make the game a reality, and then it sells the game and earns money from it, and that's like basically the whole business plan of all that. But in case of Office Management 101, it doesn't really follow all the same logic, so to say. But it's more like it's a hobby project, and the usual plan of like I don't know, having a set plan of what it's going to be in the end and how it's gonna make money and all that. It's none of that is like really figured out for me yet, or maybe it never will be exactly. And I'm not out here to make lots of money or make like a great success story, or I don't know, trying to make my mark in this world or any of that. But also I'm not like trying to make like this grand piece of art or anything. I just like working on this game, but I also like having the freedom to do like whatever. Like I don't know, like waking up in the morning and deciding that I'm going to be working on the game today, and then just doing that for a few hours, and then deciding, okay, I've done that, maybe I want to do something else, like maybe I want to read the book, maybe I want to play games, maybe I want to talk to people, maybe I just want to watch a movie, maybe I want to work on something completely different, like so I like to have that sort of a freedom in my life, and I've grown very used to it over the years now. And the way I've been doing things enables me to do that, but that also has the side effect of not having like quick turnover of finished things, finished games, or finished anything for that matter. But like from my point of view, that's fine, because that's not my priority. But my priority is just enjoying my everyday life. And I think that's where the confusion comes from the outside looking in kind of point of view. For any viewers of the stream, or any media, or any fans of the game, or whatever. So I mean, I empathize with you as well. Like, you just want to play a game that you find interesting, and you don't really or you don't even need to or should care about any of my circumstances. Those are my circumstances, right? So I'm trying to find a compromise there in some ways. So I do hope to release the game one day, so you guys get to enjoy it eventually. But on the other hand, I will not break myself trying to do it. So that's I hope that kind of answers that question a bit better. Like, why has this been taking 6 years and why it will take more? It's because releasing it is not my first priority. Or releasing it as soon as possible is not my first priority. So, to now explain a little what I'm doing here, I'm like defining the 3 different component types here. And the icons for it, the icons being these thingies in the corner here. Yeah, and APL in the chat, hi. If the game was paid early access, it would be a problem, but it's not. Yeah, definitely. If I was charging money for this game, my attitude towards it would be different. That's for sure. Because, like, having that customer relationship comes with like certain obligations, like, right? Oh, and hi Justin, sorry. Nice to see you again. I am doing, I'm personally doing fine. Just concerned a little for other people in other parts of the world right now who are going through some tough times and have been going through some tough times. So yeah, even though my life is decently fine right now, that's not the case for everyone. So I do sympathize. But how are you? How is all that affecting your life? But yeah, when it comes to early access, one of the questions they asked was why, if the game is in a somewhat playable state already, why have I not released it to early access already? And that also comes back to what I was saying. Like, I don't want that responsibility before I'm completely ready for it. And I've been just like pushing it forward and forward. I feel like the less time the game spends in early access, the better. So the more complete it is before going to early access, the better. So like from one hand, getting the feedback from early access would be awesome, of course. And that would be like my main motivation for doing it. And also, as it also would be like a sort of a compromise to get the game in the hands of people who just can't wait any longer. They've been waiting for 6 years and they just want to play it. And I can relate. There's plenty of such games out there as well that I've been waiting for a long time and wanting to play. So probably early access is in the cards eventually, but when exactly, that I do not yet know. But yes, when it is released into early access, that would mean that I would have those obligations and I would have to really step up my my game here, my development. What's this called? Icons loader? That's not it either. Where do I find that then? Get icon. Apparently not here. Okay, it's icon category loader. And this get icon ID. So wait, what does it not like here then? Weird. Oh, this is not saved. That's what the issue was. This doesn't really matter right now. This should be it. I'm not sure about these names though, so I should double check. So presets, icons. Engineering, designing, testing, yeah. Seems to be correct then. And I'm kind of hard coding these here. Maybe I shouldn't. But we'll see. Let's leave it like this right now. So that means I can remove this file now. Because that was the only functionality that was important here. So let's just delete. Done. And then I can rename. Let's check what this is. I probably can delete this file as well. And anything related to this. So it's loading components JSON here. Which, yes, I can delete as well. Done. And then where was that? Spare products, components. So that's this file. Maybe I should keep a copy of this somewhere though. I don't know. Maybe what if I copy these over to here? Maybe one day I have some purpose for these. Then I don't need this anymore. And then, is there anything here that I need? Probably not. So components loader. Where is this anyway? Product. This one. Delete. Done. Okay. So another question that I had on that podcast was about the game design part of Office Management 101, and specifically like the theme of it. And they mentioned some other tycoon games that have found success. Say like Prison Architect or 2 Point Hospital or games like that. And like they said something along the lines like they're sort of the same style of a game, but they have like a twist in their theme, kind of that kind of like catches your eye. And compared to that, Office Management 101 is more like straightforward, like office management. And they were wondering like where the fun in that exactly might be, and such. And it's a valid question, and it's something that I do think about myself as well sometimes. Like what's the what's the catch or the hook of it that is like glaring, that like you look at the game and you get oh. And I don't think there is one either. Not beyond like the visual style or something like that, but not in the game mechanics or the theme or whatnot. But on the other hand, it's probably fine that it doesn't have it, because it comes back to like what the purpose of this game even is for me personally. If I was trying to like maximize its sales potential, then yes, having a hook definitely helps in that, or having like some sort of a twist or something. Something that you can easily put into words and say like, you should play it because of that. But since that is again not like the first priority for me, then I think it's fine if it doesn't have one. So okay, it will interest less people this way. It will interest mainly like hardcore fans of the genre. But as long as there's like some people out there that would enjoy this, I'm fine with it. So I'm not too worried about it. And again, maybe if I was working on my next game one day, I will take that all into consideration a bit more, but this all is still like a learning process for me in a way, even after 6 years. And I will make what I can of this game, and then maybe like my next games will be a bit more interesting to the general public, but maybe not, who knows. Either way, I'm still like happy to have received even this amount of attention that it has gotten in this current form. So, you know, not shooting for the moon here. Just trying to throw it like a stone's throw away, I guess. But one step at a time. So, Anta on the stream again. Nice to see you. Hi. Thanks for joining. How are you doing? So, I'm working on some game mechanic stuff today. More like on the UI side. Which means I've already completely broken everything by deleting some files on purpose, but still, so I can't really show what I'm working on at the moment until I fix some of this stuff. So let's try and do that. Glad to hear that you're doing good. So yeah, for anyone watching, if you haven't noticed by now already, this is going to be a very programming heavy stream. And but I'm also like talking about some other things while I'm doing this. And I'm very bad at multitasking. I will keep repeating that, but I'll try to manage. So what else is broken then? Menu. What's going on here? Okay, I can remove this. This. I'm seeing that it's all kinds of broken here. So this we don't need either. Oh yeah, what I can actually show is this. Basically trying to make this kind of a UI thingy in the game. This is just like a temporary sketch of it. And that's not the final version of what it will look like, but just to give me an idea about the sizes of the different elements here. And in the current implementation of this window in the game, this part is on the right here, and on the left here is something that I'm removing, and then I'm gonna place this on the right here, which was below earlier. So where was I? I removed from here. So I guess I can remove all this. And this as well. And then here. Don't need these, don't need this. This is also unnecessary. There will be minimum width for this, and that's how many pixels? 67. And these I don't need. Okay. And that should take care of the layout. Hopefully, but I can't test it right now. I first need to remove some stuff. Show. "67 pixels hurts your OCD." Yeah, we'll see. The thing is that it's more depending on this size here. So actually, now that I think about it, should set the size based on this instead. Maybe. So that would be 232 pixels. Which probably also hurts your OCD, but at least you brought my attention to something. Now the thing is, like, maybe these should be somewhat flexible though. Now that I think about it. Like if the layout here is smaller, like, or the grid is smaller, say 3x3, then how should I be even placing this? But actually, I leave it like it is right now, and we'll work on this later when we can actually see what it looks like. Now this part of the code I won't be removing quite yet. I'll just comment it out because there might be some things that I need from here later on. And this is the drag and drop stuff. This is as well. So is this. There's a few more. This needs something returned. So it's return null. And whatever this is the price calculation, which I haven't even gotten into yet. That will be different anyway. And this I can remove, and this I can remove. And is that all then? There's still some other errors here. Component actor. Oh damn. I don't really want to remove this right away because there's some stuff here that might be useful later on. So let's go one step at a time then. Component I don't need. But what do I need here? none of this, I guess. So I'll comment this out for now. I guess I don't need this. This needs a icon function as well. So public return texture region get icon, then return type get icon. Anything else? What do I do with this? Basically, I don't need this, so I mark this deprecated. And then I just pretty much comment everything out, but I keep it for future purposes, just in case. I might need to copy some of this border stuff from here. Just to explain a little what that border stuff means is like previously the component pieces were composed of like multiple of these. And just to indicate like where the borders lie, and they had these black borders around the shape of it. But in this case, I would use the borders to indicate like the connection of different components. So if you place the same type of components next to each other, to show that combining, I would use the same kind of a border system. So I can copy some of that code from here and elsewhere, hopefully. So I don't have to do all that from scratch. So anyway, let's find where I use this function or class and just get rid of it. So it's here, here. Basically, looks like it's all just commented out. Okay. So does that take care of all the errors now? Should. Let's see what it looks like. Yeah, okay, and we still need a line here. I deleted that stuff though. So this line. Let me zoom out here. So I'm talking about this this between here. Just realized I was stupidly still in the game. This is the line I was talking about. So how do I do that line then? Previously it was horizontal, right? And I deleted that. How do I get it back? I could just undo and redo, I guess. This thingy. Then redo. Wait. There is also something like this here. Oh, okay, yeah, my bad. I already had such a line, but not in the right place. So where do I actually put it then? Here? Maybe? Let's see. As usual, I'm probably doing a very bad job at explaining all this. But you know, that's how I am, I guess. So it's a line, but there's an issue down here. So how do I fix that? Do I add the same path bottom stuff here maybe? Yeah, that fixed it. Okay, so I think I will also remove this schematics title here, because that doesn't really help anyone. It just removes space from already what am I trying to say here? There's already not enough space for everything, so adding text here would make the area even smaller. Okay, so what next? The width then, coming back to those 67 pixels and whatnot. So is it better to keep it like this? I don't know. Well, at least this should be aligned to the top left. So where's that? Nope. That was not it. So it's probably done here then. Task stable. Let's find that. Generate task stable. Okay, here it is. Table, add a empty cell, and I will expand that on the y-axis. And let's see. Okay, now it's on top left. And there might be some improvements here that I can make. Like, I don't know, maybe it shouldn't be aligned to the left, but in the center. We can do that later. So now let's try and do these parts up top here and on the left. What do I even call those? So what are they? Headers. Maybe. Like if this was a table, then I mean a table of in the sense of like how like it works in a spreadsheet. Because in the spreadsheet these are cells. But what's the word for these? It's not header. Total blanking out here. Guess I can open some spreadsheet then. Real quickly. Oh yeah, I can actually show something. I did show it on Discord. But I might as well show it on the stream here. And wait, how do I drag this here? Okay. I don't know if you want to check it out yourself. I guess I can paste the link in the chat too. So basically what this is the wish list, the Steam wish list breakdown for Office Management 101. And I divided these up by country, just to see where like the most of the wish lists for the game come from. So obviously United States is like a big percentage, and non-surprisingly Germany as well, and United Kingdom. China is maybe more of a surprise here, but also maybe not. I mean, it is a big country and lots of people that do play games, and probably games of this sort as well. Although, like, it depends on what they will be expecting out of this game. And now also as Steam is and has released already a separate client for Chinese people that has some features removed or added depending on the laws there, then I'm not sure how it will work going forward. Like, will all the games that want to release to China, will they have to go some specific process? And if that's the case, then it's likely that I won't be able to go through that process realistically without a partner there. I'm not sure I want such a partnership, at least not at this point, as it would just complicate things for me once more. But anyway, some of the high placement of some Asian countries here was definitely surprising to me. Because I have not done any specific Asian targeting on purpose. Okay, so header is still the word that is being used here for these, so I guess let's call them headers then. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I can always change the name later if I decide that there's a reason for it. So that's not a big issue. So component header, no, that's not it. Product something header. What's that something? Should I call it something else instead of header after all? Product, it's basically like a modifier. So maybe that's what I should call it. Product, like some product parameter modifier. So yeah, okay. Let's stick to that then. And then what do we need? That needs a type. But not just piece type. Right. No, that's fine, yeah. So that's type. It might as well be public. So basically that's this icon up here. And that will also maybe change the background color of these, but you know, whatever. But then what does it actually modify? So there's three options here. It's either a positive modifier, or a negative modifier, or a neutral one. Meaning that it won't be shown here in the first place. So I guess it can be just a positive or a negative. And I guess that can be a value of some sort, maybe. So I don't know, let's call it then a float value then. So normally it will be -1 or +1. But in some circumstances that I can't imagine right now, maybe it will be something different. Just to have that flexibility and make it float. And then we need whatever this icon symbolizes here. So I was considering these being like demographics, but they might as well be like product costs or something else. So ideally these would be definable somewhere, not hard-coded, but I will hard-code them for now, just to have something. So maybe this should be named component type. And I'll make this a string for now. This will be the type of the modifier itself. So we need a construction function. Where these all are initialized. Wait, what am I even doing? Then I need functions to get all these. I don't really have to type all this out manually. I could instead generate them automatically, but since they don't take that long to make, so I can do it by hand, it's fine. Wait. This should have been a string. So that's the modifier, and each product will have these modifiers defined. Where exactly? I guess here. So layout. Modifiers. So there's two types. One's at the top here, and one's on the left here. The top ones go for columns like this, and the left ones go for rows like this. If that makes sense. I also need to define new layouts for all, but we'll get to that eventually. So modifiers. How do I define them here? Guess they could be arrays. So our first part of the array would be... Wait, array is actually not good after all. So let's try like this. So first part should be component type. Engineering or whatever. How are they named actually? So Anta has to go. Well, thank you for hanging out. See you some other time, hopefully. But yeah, these are the names that I can use here. So engineering, design, testing. And it doesn't matter that it's in uppercase here. I'll just use the lowercase version of those here. So what else? We need the value and we need the type for it. So the type will also be a string, and the demographics which I don't have defined right now, but that's not a big deal. So I'll just put whatever there right now. And the value, let's say -1. I'll copy these here. This would be the top row, just to make it prettier. Let's split these up into separate lines. And then we'll add some more here. And I can add some variation just to test things out. So design, make some of these positive. For now, it's enough that we have defined this only for the phone. We'll just do the testing with the phone only. But next step, where is this file loaded? Product. Category is probably here. Yep. So what's it called? Modifiers. So if this station has modifiers, then let's try and load them. So modifier. So this gets the arrays for it, This would be the top one, this would be the left one. And I need to store these somewhere. Or should I, instead of the top and left, use column modifiers and row modifiers? And then column modifiers. Now we iterate through all this JSON. So modifier JSON here. So first of all, I need to know this. So that's the component type. Not sure if this function works, but hopefully. Yeah, apparently not. So I do need to make a function for that. make a default one. But otherwise, this will iterate through all of these. So basically this function will take in the identifier string for the component, which will be one of these three: engineering, design, testing, and then return a object of this type. So if type name equals ignore case. So, you know, here it's in uppercase, but in our file here I defined it as in lowercase, and I want that still to work, then that's why I'm using ignore case here. And then if it finds one, return type. And if it doesn't find one, then it will return engineering as the default. So if you mistype here, like engineering or something, then it will use the default. So where was I? So we use get here. This goes here. And then from the JSON we also get another string. Type, and then that also will have a default. And then modifier JSON get float value, which will be +1 by default. So what did I mess up here? Yes. And also let's store one value here. In I as in index. Then I is modifier. And basically the same code will go for the row modifiers, with the exception of storing it in row instead of column. And then categories needs a function. Set a function to set the modifiers. So we pass these in. So now let's create that function. Let's put that in a better place here. Below layout is fine. So need to store these. And bear with me here because soon enough we can actually get this in action. And these are defined now. Also need a getter function for these. So get column modifiers. And get row modifiers as well. Okay. So now we can get the UI part of this. Where would that be? Here. So generate layout will need functionality to generate these thingies, these headers. I need to remove my earphones for a bit though. What did I say? Earphones? Headphones? I'm so deep into programming here that I'm getting confused in my words. Okay, so So I suppose I need tables for that. How are the other ones defined? Drag and drop. Layout tasks table. I could put them inside this, but that would cause problems because I want the scroll bar to only affect the grid layout here and not the header itself. So the scroll bar starts from down here, not from up top here. Which means I should keep these separate. Give this header part its own UI table. So let's make that table then. And then where do I put this? I guess on top here. Although I'm seeing a problem with this right now. But let's do it one step at a time and then I'll explain what I mean. Just to better show what I'm about to show, I'll add like a minimum width to this as well. Like, I don't know, 16 pixels. And after that, there should be a row. And then let's make this take that part in the first place. So table colon modifier table. There is an error. This should be final, so we can use it down there. Okay, and then I explain a bit what the problem is. Problem is you can't even see it. Anyway, if I add another row up top here, it's gonna span like this full length, full width of both of these two boxes. But if I want to make it so it only spans this one box, this leftmost box, then I need to create a wrapper table for those. So if you're familiar with HTML, then the tables in libgdx work kind of the same as they do in HTML. So you can place tables inside tables and whatnot, and that's the way the website layouts used to be made back in the 90s and the early 2000s. It's not being used anymore, but you know, it kind of the same stayed around. Guess I can draw it just to visualize it a little. What that would mean. So, say this is the whole pop-up, and this is like one table. Then we have like another table that's the product name and logo and whatnot up there. And then we had these two. Which would be also tables. But they're not right now. Because right now, this would be a table. And they're like this inside. So tables inside tables inside tables. And then I need to make it so there's another table here that's split up like this. This is where the scroll bar would be, instead of like here. Oh, I hope any of that made any sense, but if it didn't, sorry. So instead of launching it, I should just make that wrapper table then. What do I call that even? So left wrapper table. And the first cell of that will be this. The code gets kind of messy with this libgdx layout stuff. So that's why I try to ident it a little. But even then it's messy. Probably messed up some stuff here, but that's fine for now. We'll first see how it looks and then we'll see if there's something to improve there or fix there. So yes, so how do I actually generate that stuff? So by the category, I can get the column modifiers here. And import this. So for iterate through all this. What will I use here? So I can start with that and then see where it goes. Modifier and get component type and then get icon. Then I should already have something. It won't look quite right, but it should show something here. So we have these, but they're not at the top. So let's fix that. So where is it? I should add a row here. Then let's see again. Oh yeah. I only defined this for the phones, so anything else will just crash. So I should check if this is not null, just in case. So phone, and we have them. So there's still a bunch of stuff to do here. The sizes and the other icons and tooltips and whatnot. So, in what order do we go from there? Let's make the sizes then. So the icon size is 14 by 14. I should be able to set the width here. I assume it will just enlarge the icon, but for testing purposes right now that's fine. So the height will be 21 and add space right as 1, which will be for this border between the stuff. But this only would work if there is a modifier in that column. In some cases there might not be one. But I did define all for the phone, so it's fine. So it makes the icons a bit bigger now. And this will not be the end result. Just to get somewhere here and not get caught in details, we'll stick with that. But I just thought that I should at least make like a hover tooltip that shows that information. So by the icon I can tell what the component type is, but I also need to see what the type itself is. So that I can get from here. Then value I should use the getter functions. Get type. So this way we'll have a better idea what's going on in that column. Hopefully, phone. Yep, there we go. So, you know, every type is children right now, and that I will change later on. But the value changes here. So some have +1, some have -1. So that's the top bar here, but I also want the left one. So let's do that as well. Those are row modifiers. Now this I will approach a little differently here. I'll make the width 21 pixels but the height 20 and then leave spacing between these. So space bottom 1 pixel. And then we need a table for those. So that's row modifier table. That goes here and here as well. I might need another wrapper table here. So No, actually I can put that inside layout wrapper. Stack at it. Oh no. I still need another wrapper. Let me think. Actually, I do have one already that I can use for this purpose, and that's this one, layout wrapper table. So instead of the row here, I can put this inside fill y, expand y. Maybe that's enough. Phone crash. So what's up here? Probably a problem with the loading, but I guess I could have checks for it anyway. I did mention it just a few minutes ago. No, I do not want to send the crash report. Well, that's not right. Oh, wait. Just realized something here. Wait. So I'm clearing the column modifier here. But I also need to clear this and then make sure I put this in the right table after all. I also know, I think I know where the crash earlier came from, and that was from here, right? Wait, this looks right after all, so I don't know. I don't know. So many phones. Oh yeah. I do need to put these on rows. Wait, why am I... This is wrong. That's why it crashed. But where was the stuff here? After each of these I need to add a row so it wraps nicely. Let's see again. Phone. Okay, so now it's better. It's all misaligned. Mostly on this side here on the top. So what I need to do is to add either something to the modifier table here. That's just empty, but this filling this space here. So I can do that. Add an empty one, but with a width of how much exactly? Like 22 pixels. And the height isn't important, but let's set it to 21 after all. Okay, let's see. I think they're aligned now. So that's the basics for it already. The next step would be to add some number of components in here that I can drag around. But I'm thinking that I'm gonna wrap the stream up here, and I'll probably do this off the stream. These ones then. The drag and drop components. I'll do these off the stream, and maybe next time I can, next Monday then, I can show you where I got with these. Because I know this has been very programming heavy and probably not that interesting to watch compared to some of the other stuff that I've been streaming over the past months. So probably it will be something different next time. Maybe I will continue the artwork that I did last month, I think. That is still unfinished. But other than that, we did make some progress with the UI here. Not a lot, but that's fine for 2.5 hours that I've been streaming. So anyway, this view. So thanks for watching. Yeah, I know it's been a tough one to watch, probably for many of you, but even then, that's the reality of game development. It's not all fun and games, but it's sometimes just hardcore coding stuff that still needs to be done for the game to function. And every now and then I do want to show that part of game development, just so you don't have any what's the word, like inceptions. Wait, that's not it. Well, so you don't misunderstand how it works. So I will be back on next Monday then, unless the world ends somehow between now and then. But thanks for watching, and yeah, bye. And stay frosty.